A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation. And it shall be a statute forever in your generation.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Our program today, As Deep Waters, was written by Joseph Mindell and is presented to commemorate the Jewish holiday of Simchas Torah, the celebration of the reading of the Scripture.
For as the rain comes down, and the snow from heaven, and returns not hither, except it water the earth, and make it bring forth, and bud, and give seed to the sower, and bread to the eater, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth.
This is the story of a book. The words are written, the type is cast in molten metal, the press clamors, printing the separate pages. And I remember another, more ancient book.
The words of a man's mouth are as deep waters, a flowing brook, a fountain.
When the pages are cut and bound and the ink is dry, you will perhaps hold the book in your hand. But there is more that I must tell you. For the meaning of a book is sometimes greater than the sum of the words written. September of 1942. A German train passes through Polish fields loaded with human freight.
Stand still, Fellner. It's bad enough without your pushing.
I want to move in. Let others get to the window.
Window? A hole not even a foot square.
The stench is not as bad here. We'll take turns.
How? We're packed so close you can't move an inch.
We have to try. It's no use. Even here there are degrees of misery.
Console yourself, Fellner. Our turn will come. Do you see the light coming in? The afternoon sun is on the left.
I see it.
Don't you understand? We're going north. They're taking us to a concentration camp in the north. We'll be the first to freeze at this window of yours. You see, it evens out.
Yes. In the concentration camp, we will all freeze.
Didn't you bring something warm to wear?
There was no time. I heard the footsteps on the stairs. It was too late.
Of course, it's too late then. Didn't you know they would come for us sooner or later?
I knew.
You see my bundle? It was ready months ago at the side of my bed every night. Oh, I've thought about it for a long time. I packed nothing new, nothing a Nazi guard would want. There's a sweater in here, old and torn, but warm. I prepared for them, Fellner. What were you doing all these months?
There are different ways of preparing. I have to finish something.
What are you talking about?
I wrote every night. page after page, sometimes until daybreak. And I did finish. Then the boots on the stairs.
And in that last minute before they broke down the door, that's what you picked up? That's what you're carrying with you to the concentration camp, wrapped so carefully and tied with a string? Oh, no.
Don't laugh.
There's nothing to laugh about. I also packed a woolen vest. You can wear that.
You think I'm a fool?
You're worse than a fool. Oh, I don't know what I think. Is a moth-eaten sweater a surer sign of wisdom? But you are a fool if you think they'll let you keep your scribbling.
Why not? Why shouldn't they?
Because you value it. Because words written down may be dangerous. Or for no reason at all.
I'll hide it.
They'll find it. And when they do, they'll burn it.
No. They can't. Do you hear me? They mustn't burn it.
They can and they will.
Here, take it. Take it, I say.
But your manuscript is no safer with me.
Your left arm is free. You can reach the window.
A cat could hardly squeeze between those bars.
Try. Do what I tell you.
All right.
Throw it as far as you can.
All right. There. It's done. Words written down can pass through a narrow space, eh, Thelma? Tell me something. I still have my sweater. Thelma, what do you have left?
In that time and in that place to which they were taken, nothing was left to shield them against the cold night and the final bitter end. Nothing was left. Only a narrow space in which to whisper a denial. And a package, carefully wrapped and tied with string, lying in a Polish field. And therefore it was not an end.
Later, Anya, when we've finished working.
Well, come and look.
You don't make a harvest by looking down the tracks and wondering where the train goes. You know where it goes. Just be thankful we're not Jews.
Look at what I found.
Oh, what? A bird's nest?
I almost didn't see it hidden here under the bushes.
Huh?
It's tied with so many knots. It must be something precious.
Don't open it, Anya.
Oh, I want to see what it is.
Not now. Not here. They can see us from the other end of the field. They're looking at us already.
Let them look.
Go back to work, Anya. Hide it under the bushes and get back to work. Later, I'll carry it home under my jacket. Then we'll see what we have. Hang something over the window.
What's the matter with you, Mikhail?
Ladislav walked home with us, didn't he? He's curious, I can tell.
But what of it? I found something in the field. Is that a crime?
Anya, where do you think it came from, this package you found?
I don't know. I didn't think about it.
Well, think about it now. Well, Anya?
Well, it fell from a train that went by.
You understand, if we don't bring it to the German commandant in the town hall, then it is a crime. We'll have to be careful.
Well, let's get rid of it. Tomorrow you'll throw it in the river.
No.
Mikhail, I'm afraid.
Anya, what does a farmer, a poor farmer like me, have to look forward to?
Mikhail,
well, I'll tell you, bad luck. If not today, then next week or next month. The crop fails or the cow gets sick and doesn't give milk. Or the Germans come and they take the harvest and the cow. But now something good happens. Should we throw it away because we're afraid? No. Cover the window, Anya. We'll soon see what it is. There's so many knots.
Give it to me. I'll untie them.
Whatever it's worth, if only a few zlotys. We're entitled to a little good luck. Only a little bit. What? Mikhail's treasure. Paper. Nothing but sheets of useless Worthless paper.
No, Nico, don't tear it.
Why not? What's it good for? Here, I'll show you. Here, you can use it to light a fire in the
Don't give
stove.
it to me. Oh, look what you did. It's all wrinkled now. Nico, what does the writing say?
It's not even in decent letters like a book. It's handwritten.
Well, you can read it. What does it say?
The Way of Life by Leon Fellner.
The Way of Life. What does it mean?
Oh, how should I know? It's time to eat, Anya. I'm hungry.
Oh, I'll light the fire and warm up the soup.
So, you're burning it after all.
No, only the wrapping. I'll keep it in my shawl. My good one with the satin binding.
Anya, it's late. Why don't you go to sleep?
I'll sit up for a while.
Then put out the lamp so I can sleep.
Soon, Nico. Just a little longer.
I don't understand you, Anya. You sit there turning the pages as if
Of course I turn the pages.
As if you could read them.
It's a book, isn't it?
Come in, Ladislav. Come in. Anya! Where did you hide the treasure? She wrapped it up in her best shawl. Anya!
Why do you want it?
Never mind. Just let me have it now.
I am interested in books, Anya.
He used to be a clerk, you know.
It's not a book. It's written by hand.
Well, it's the same thing after all.
Come. Bring it out. We can trust Ladislav. Besides, he's willing to pay for it.
But I'll want to see it first, you understand.
Oh, naturally.
It's not for sale.
Anya, do as I asked you.
I found it, didn't I? You would have thrown it in the fire, but I saved it. It's mine. And it's not for sale.
I'll come back another time, Mikhail.
Don't go, Ladislav.
Maybe tomorrow, if Anya will allow you to bring your friends to the house.
You should not have done what you did.
Don't, Nico. I know that look. When I lived in my father's house, he also used to beat me.
If you also shamed him before his friends, then I don't blame him.
That was all he knew to do for his children. A slap and a curse. Never a word to help. Never sending them to school to learn. He was an ignorant peasant just like you.
What do you mean, ignorant? I know how to read.
What good is it if you don't read?
Well, how can I read when there isn't a book in the house?
In my father's house, there were no books either. Nico, if we have sons or daughters, I don't want them to grow up in a house without a book.
Oh. All right, Anya. You can keep it.
I'm glad. Nico, will you do something else for me?
What?
Our book. Read it to me.
Now? All at once?
A little at a time, every night after work, when we're resting.
Anya, this isn't a letter from your sister. This is a book. And reading isn't the same as understanding.
There's enough time. You'll read it over and over until we do understand. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll learn to read it myself.
Ladislav would have given half a zloty for it.
Will you do it? Will you read it to me?
Or at least a quarter of a zloty.
You must, Nico. So that we'll have something to be a heritage for our children.
The inheritance of those years was blood and hunger. Trains rolled through the Polish fields, and armies fought, and battles were lost and won. In a good season, wheat grew again beside the tracks. Though now the German commandant was gone, and a commissar sat in the town hall.
Mikhail?
Yes, Your Excellency.
No. No titles. We are all comrades. Now, it has come to my attention that you have a certain manuscript.
Ladislav told you.
Never mind who told me.
Oh, how does he know? Did he see it?
That's not your affair.
Well, just ask him. Did he see it? Ask him to swear by the memory of his father and mother.
Comrade.
Anybody can talk about a manuscript. Even I might have said something. But talk isn't proof. A man can say many...
Still! Comrade?
I'm sorry, Comrade Commissar. I got excited. But after all, just because Vladislav said that he...
That's enough. I did not call you here to argue with you. You see the sergeant there at the desk? Tomorrow you will bring the manuscript and leave it with him.
Bring the book to the table, Anya. Oh, that shawl was such a pretty blue. It's faded.
Mikhail, I don't want to give up our book.
I'll tell you what he said, Anya. Comrade, he said, the possession of unauthorized literature is an offense against the people's state.
Before the communists, when the Nazis were here, we hid the book from them. It was also a crime.
Oh, my little Anya is becoming a hardened criminal.
Don't make jokes. Mikhail, he said he wasn't sure.
Well, how can he be sure? Vladislav himself never saw it.
Then if you just don't go to the town hall tomorrow,
You didn't
maybe...
see the look on his face when he called me, comrade.
If you don't, then maybe he'll think it was a mistake and forget about it.
Comrade Commissar won't forget. If I don't bring him the manuscript, he'll come here with soldiers to search for it.
And if he doesn't find it?
Why was that possible? Our house isn't so big. There aren't so many hiding places.
I mean, suppose it's not in the house at all. Suppose it's hidden in the fields, buried in the earth.
Yes, it could be done.
Then hurry, Mikhail, while it's still
Oh,
dark.
wait. We have to consider, Anya.
Not now. Hurry.
Now, listen to me. What will be accomplished this way?
If you bring it to them tomorrow in the town hall, they'll burn it.
And if we bury it in the earth, then what do we have?
The book will be safe. Don't you understand?
Oh, it's only a little piece of the paper we're scribbling. No, Anya, I don't understand.
They are the words of a man's imagining. Look. I can read them now. The Way of Life by Leon Fellner. Mikhail, if you save a book, maybe it's like saying how you want to live.
A seed planted is safe, buried in the earth. But if it does not sprout and bear fruit, then what is it? For there is a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to keep silence and a time to speak.
There was a stranger in the town today.
A stranger?
I saw him when I went to the market.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to me, Mikhail.
The side needs sharpening, Anya. I can listen at the same time.
He was from America.
America? Why should anyone come here from America?
They were walking through the market, he and the commissar. I heard him say that he was sent to look for survivors.
He doesn't have to look far. Didn't he see you? Didn't he see all of us?
No, he meant those who were in the camps and are still alive.
He won't find many.
Mikhail, he spoke to me.
Anya, it's dangerous to speak to foreigners.
He spoke to me.
Even so. What did he say?
He wants to come to our house to talk to us.
A foreigner in our house? An American? We'll both be put in prison.
He has permission to make inquiries. The commissar himself said so.
Anya, what can we have to tell him? This stranger from America.
When the camps were thrown open, the people often came back to their former homes. Do you know of such a person in this neighborhood?
If there was someone, what would you do?
The committee I represent would help them.
With money?
If they wanted to remain here. Or if they wanted to leave, we would help them do that.
Where would they go?
I have a number of visas for Israel.
Israel? It's far, isn't it?
Very far. But it's a place where they are wanted. Do you know of someone?
No. We don't know anybody.
You have nothing to tell me?
We've answered your questions.
Yes. Will you answer just one more? Is it true that you've been hiding a manuscript?
He knows.
He's still on you. Who sent you? The commissar?
I'm clumsy. Forgive me. I didn't mean to frighten you. The commissar had nothing to do with it.
Who told you?
Listen to me. You know why I'm here. To help those who survived the camps. And those who did not. It is also important to save what can be saved. Will you please show me the manuscript?
It's ours.
Anya, please.
I found it. I hid it from the Nazis, from the communists. It's mine.
Anya, if a book is written, to whom does it belong? The shawl is stained by the earth, but the writing is still clear.
I'll wrap it in something else and bury it again. I can wait. The Nazis were here and they're gone. Someday the communists will be gone. I can wait.
Look, Anya. The paper's beginning to rot, like a seed buried too deep.
You want to give it up, Mikhail.
He has only to tell the commissar, Anya.
You think I would do that, Mikhail? Did you let me read it thinking that?
No. Well, what would you do with it?
A book should be read by others, or else it is only paper buried in the earth.
You would take it to Israel to be printed?
No.
This is all that Leon Fellner left.
And I saved it. We're his heirs.
Yes, Anya. The inheritance is for you. But not for you alone.
Give it to me.
Anya!
Where is he, Mikhail? Do you see him?
Be careful, Anya. You carry it openly as if you...
It's only a bundle wrapped in a shawl. Look for him.
You brought it, Anya.
Oh. Here. Take it. For a little while, I thought I could hide it again. Take it with you.
Put it here on the crate, and when you go, leave it there. It's safer that way. Anya, thank you.
Listen, there's something you must tell me.
The train goes in a few minutes.
It won't take long. You did not know Leon Fellner. Of course not. Neither did I. But he taught me how to read.
Every night we sat together, Anya and I, and she learned.
I see him at his table writing. Oh, I see him plainly as I see the words he wrote. A man cannot say to the angel of death, wait, I wish to arrange my affairs. Then I will not waste my breath. I will write down that which must be said quickly, quickly, before the clatter of boots on the stairs drowns out the sound of my voice. I read the words and I do not understand. I do not understand.
Anya, my little Anya, please.
The way of life, he called it. Don't you see him sitting at his table in a world black with terror and death? But he could write of love and mercy and justice, of living without fear and hate. He was waiting for death. Tell me how he could think of the way of life. Tell me.
You do not have to ask me, Anya.
Then whom shall I ask?
The answer is here in the book. It is not an answer Leon Fellner discovered, but one written long ago in a world that was no gentler than his. The laws of the Torah were given that men should live by them, not that they should die by them.
It is a story of survival. And if you ask me what survives, I will tell you this. The words of a man's mouth are as deep waters, a flowing brook, a fountain. I see a faded shawl stained by the earth, and a book printed so that others may read. And I hear the voice of Isaiah.
For as the rain comes down and the snow from heaven, and returns not hither, except it water the earth, and make it bring forth, and bud, and give seed to the sower, and bread to the eater, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth.
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover the cost of postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary of America, 3080 Broadway, New York 27, New York. Now we take great pleasure in presenting Mr. Martin Kane, prominent business and civic leader, a member of the Metropolitan New York Cabinet of the Jewish Seminary of America. Mr. Kane.
Today's script raises many questions. Questions about values, about human brotherhood, and about the nature of survival itself. It is easy to understand that under certain circumstances, a warm sweater should seem more important than even a major contribution to human knowledge or welfare. After all, we too live in a world in which millions are spent for armaments and for defense, and woefully little to finance the important contemporary efforts to create the basis for a lasting peace. Similarly, it is easy to understand the impulse to destroy a document which has been fortuitously acquired and which has relatively little meaning to its custodians, especially when mere possession of it constitutes a threat to life itself. Anya's purposeful defense of the manuscript, her recognition that it embodies values beyond her comprehension, and her gratitude because it has provided her with the key to the magic world of literacy, are actions which transcend the animal drives of much daily behavior and symbolize the divine potentiality which is part of our human nature. If more of us could learn her respect for values beyond our understanding, or its relevance to our own lives, human brotherhood would rapidly become an actual condition rather than an aspiration and an ideal. Finally, we are stimulated to think about survival itself. Is it merely a question of keeping the body alive for as many years or days or hours or minutes as possible? Or is the survival of Leon Fellner the immortality achieved by fulfilling one's role and leaving the world richer by a book or a poem or a thought because one has lived? Is this, we ask ourselves, a higher order of survival? Unfortunately, not all of us are blessed with the ability to create, but many of us have found that by working with institutions and organizations concerned with ultimate human values, we can participate, at least vicariously, in this higher kind of survival. I know that my work, small though it may be, for the Jewish Theological Seminary of America, has given me a sense of identification with all of the seminary's work, including the eternal light, which is sometimes more satisfying than those day-to-day business achievements which, because they have a tangible dollar reward, should perhaps, under the aspect of eternity, be equated with a woolen sweater.
Thank you, Mr. Kane. Our Eternal Light drama today, As Deep Waters, was written by Joseph Mindell and was presented to commemorate the Jewish holiday of Simchas Torah, the celebration of the reading of the Scripture. Cantor David Putterman sang the liturgical introduction. Featured in the cast were Joan Laser, Larry Robinson, Leon Janney, Eeyore Francis, Joseph Boland, and John Seymour. Your narrator was Roger DeCoven. This is Lionel Rico speaking. Our program was directed by Parker Gibbs. This weekly program is presented under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. This is the NBC Radio Network.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation, and it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Our program today, 4.5 Feet of Faith, was written by Mark Siegel.
In 1492, Christopher Columbus, standing high on the bridge of a tiny Spanish sailing ship, discovered the New World.
Land ho!
The fact, however, is open to question. It may have been Leif the Lucky or Eric the Red in Viking craft who were the first to scan the American horizon. 400 years later, another band of pioneers uncovered another New World. About their discovery, there is no question whatsoever. They were the women of America.
This 19th century has made a great discovery, and we have helped to make it. It is for some a startling discovery. Women are people.
The new world of freedom and of service they uncovered, in the view of history, may be bigger and broader than the American continent itself. There was Elizabeth Cady Stanton, who considered it perfectly logical for women to be emancipated along with slaves. There was Susan B. Anthony, who held the revolutionary notion that women should vote. There was Carrie Chapman Catt, who fought for equal rights, and Jane Addams, who fought for equal responsibilities. There was Lucy Stone, who insisted on the right to her own name after marriage. And among the pioneers, adding to their fire the tradition of an ancient heritage, there was a little lady 4.5 feet tall. Her name was Hannah Greenabaum Solomon.
Gentlemen! We have rather an unusual speaker with us this evening. A distinguished speaker who is to address us on the subject of women as breadwinners. A topic in which, no doubt, some of us have a passing interest. Our speaker has given a great part of her time to an investigation...
Mr. Chairman.
Sir?
Mr. Chairman, did you say her time?
Why, yes, that's what I said, and
Mr. Chairman, you know perfectly well that no woman has ever addressed this organization.
The program committee has discussed this matter. What is more, sir, I consider it extraordinarily discourteous of you to raise your objection when Mrs. Solomon is standing on this platform prepared to speak.
Mrs. Solomon is on the platform? I don't see any woman on the platform.
She is standing behind the speaker's podium.
Mrs. Solomon, I beg your pardon. I didn't see you.
I assure you it's totally unimportant to me as to whether you can see me. It is quite important, however, that you should hear me. And I expect you will.
She was 4.5 feet tall, but her stature was unquestioned. She had a way of breaking precedents, and she did so with a twinkle in her eye and a voice that could reach the last row of any auditorium, particularly if there were men sitting in it. You must understand, of course, that the year was 1896, that all of this took place long, long ago, in a time before women had been accorded any real measure of social or political equality. It was before women had careers. And in Hannah Solomon's time, there were certain people who failed to recognize the dawning of a new era of freedom and service for women.
A little less meddling, a little more mending.
Seems to us the world can use a little mending, too.
A little less studying and a little more cooking.
Education never spoiled a dinner.
The Lord didn't mean for women to get all tied up in causes of politics and organizations. Women are the weaker sex.
The Lord provided us with greater strength than you think.
I beg your pardon.
The position of women today might have been foretold at the beginning. Instead of creating her out of dust, the Lord waited until he could build her out of a strong, healthy, germ-proof bone. I suppose he knew that in some century or other we'd need our strength.
Now, I suppose you're gaining the impression that Hannah Solomon did nothing in her life but fight against unsympathetic men. Well, nothing could be further from the truth. She could roast the best goose, play the best Beethoven sonata, and deliver the best recitation in her family, which is saying quite a lot. There were 10 brothers and sisters in the Greenebaum family, one of the first Jewish families to settle in Chicago. She did fight all her life against injustice and poverty, against persecution and intolerance, against tragedy and war. It just happened that, the world being the way it was, the opposite side of the question was generally stated by men.
But you can't do that, Mrs. Solomon. A woman just cannot do that.
And always there was Hannah Solomon to say,
why not?
According to one of her favorite granddaughters, with whom she traveled abroad on several occasions, Hannah Solomon's why not impressed the men of several continents in several ways. For example, there was the moment in Russia when the day's last train for Leningrad was ready to pull out of a provincial railroad station.
Lady, you'll never make it.
Why not, God? Why not?
There's a fence between here and the train. There, you see it?
Of course I see it. It's right in front of us.
But, lady, the fence is 5 feet high. It's higher than you are. Lady, where are you?
On the other side of the fence, guide.
You jumped over the fence? How did you jump over the fence?
There wasn't any other way. What else could I do?
There is a fact to be added. Mrs. Solomon's running leap over the immovable obstacle was accomplished at the age of 72. In deference to more important matters, we will not report in detail on the rickshaws, camels, gondolas, or cable lifts ridden by Hannah Solomon at various advanced ages. We will also skip the pyramids, Chinese walls, Athenian and prehistoric ruins scaled. What is more important, perhaps, is that for the almost 85 years of her life, Hannah Solomon left behind her a foaming wake of reactions, no matter what the country of the world. And perhaps it would be fair to say that these reactions split into 2 parts. From the men.
Lady, you can't do that.
And from the women.
Why not? Yes, why not?
The people who knew her, who had heard her speak, who had shared her dreams, the people who stood with her or against her in 1,000 battles for a better world, all of them wondered, as perhaps you do, what were the sources of her strength. Hannah Solomon, for all her public life an introspective woman, wondered too.
How far do fate and chance mold our behavior and our lives? Do we remember clearly those moments when inspiration was born through contact with rich minds? Those in which courage was instilled and new insight kindled?
The words are from an autobiography written in Hannah Solomon's 84th year.
If we could see the whole fabric of our lives spread out, what a wonderful weaving it might show. Many a thread that we thought lost would reappear and form strange patterns of cause and of effect.
Father?
Yes, Hansi?
Father, why is everyone so quiet?
Everyone is very sad, Hansi.
because Mr. Lincoln's dead, Father?
Yes, Hansie. What is it, child?
Why did they shoot him, Father?
Why? Because of what he thought, I suppose.
What did he think?
A great many things, Hansie. The big thing he thought was that all people are created equal.
Doesn't everybody think that?
No, Hansie. I'm afraid not everyone does.
Do you?
Of course I do.
Does Mama?
Why, of course, Hansie.
Oh. Father.
What, Hansie?
Father, if you believe what Mr. Lincoln did, won't they come and shoot you?
Oh, no, Hansie, no. No one's going to shoot Mama or me. We're not that important, for one thing.
Oh, you won't tell anyone what you believe, then?
Of course we will, Hansie.
Even if it's not safe?
Hansie, when you believe something, when you know you're right, the safe thing is to say what you believe. Say it to anyone who will listen. Say it as often and loudly as you can. If you're truly in the right, in the end, all will see your truth.
This was a thread that would reappear. This and 1,000 others, from a childhood surrounded by an atmosphere of faith and social responsibility.
Father, how did you do it? You look so funny.
The mud on my suit?
It's up to your waist.
Well, my carriage got stuck in the mud, and just as I got it out, another carriage came along. I called to the people to warn them, but they didn't hear me.
But how did you get your beautiful white linen suit so full of mud?
Oh, I jumped in and ran towards the other carriage. I went right in up to my waist.
But why? If you knew there was mud there, Father.
To warn them, Hansie, so they wouldn't get stuck in the mud.
Even when you knew it would ruin your suit?
If I knew there was mud there, I couldn't let someone else fall in, could I, Hansie?
These were some of the threads that would enter into the pattern of her life. To speak out for the right, to influence others, to be concerned with others. And there was another theme that reappeared consistently in the course of her 84 fruitful years.
The majority of our citizens are too far removed from scenes of misery and suffering. We find that the offenders against society are a small minority, but an active one. We hear of the contagion of evil not because it is evil, but because it is active. Good is also contagious under similar conditions.
In defense of the so-called stronger sex, it should be noted that Hannah Solomon reached many of her views with the active assistance of many men. Among them her distinguished grandfather, who was a founder of the first Jewish congregation in Chicago, her father, who was a leader in the abolitionist cause, and her gentle husband, whose kindness and sense of community responsibility were legendary. But the anvil against which she shaped her greatest contribution to the world in which she lived was the resistance and obstinacy of the eternally opposed man.
The answer is no, madam. We are asking for your cooperation, not your domination.
The year was 1893, a year when a World's Fair was to commemorate the 400th anniversary of the discovery of America in Chicago.
Mrs. Solomon, I will ask you again. Will you Jewish women cooperate with us in our sessions?
As I've told you before, we will join with the men in a presentation of Judaism at the Parliament of Religions, if we are accorded an active role.
Mrs. Solomon, we have been through this all before.
I'm willing that we should go through it again, if necessary.
I have no doubt, Mrs. Solomon, that an appropriate role will be found for the women.
And when will we know just what that appropriate role is, Mr. Chairman?
After our next program committee has met, Mrs. Solomon. At our next meeting.
I presume that no woman will serve on the program committee, Mr. Chairman.
You presume correctly, Mrs. Solomon.
Then we will reserve judgment as to our participation until the program is prepared. We will look forward with interest to what the Jewish men of Chicago consider an appropriate role for the Jewish women of Chicago. Mr. Chairman, I do not understand. I simply do not understand.
There's nothing very complicated about it, Mrs. Solomon. The program seems self-explanatory.
I told you at our last meeting that we had proposed 2 speakers for the Parliament of Religions.
Oh, yes. Miss Henrietta Zold, was it? On what Judaism has done for women.
You have a good memory. We had also proposed Miss Josephine Lazarus to discuss the outlook for Judaism.
Oh, yes, I recall that.
Neither name appears upon this program.
Well, Mrs. Solomon,
I am waiting for your answer.
Well, Mrs. Solomon, the program seems complete just as it stands.
I see. And the appropriate role for women which you promised at our last meeting.
Hostesses, Mrs. Solomon. Hostesses.
Mr. Chairman, the suggestion is insulting.
Mrs. Solomon, it would not have been insulting to your mother.
I am not my mother.
Ah, you are the new woman?
Mr. Chairman, I did not come here to engage in a discussion of the new woman, which has become, unhappily, a very old subject.
Nonetheless, you take the position that what was good enough for your mother isn't good enough for you.
If you wish to stand still, you may do so. The world has a way of moving forward.
I prefer it as it is.
You are inviting a speech.
Perhaps.
We would prefer that our speeches be given where they should be given.
At the Parliament of Religions?
Precisely.
You have seen the program, and that is the committee's decision.
Then you leave us no alternative than to present you with our decision. We do not care to cooperate with you. We will not cooperate with you. And I request that the fact of our presence at this meeting be expunged from the records.
You are sure you wish to do that?
Positive.
Really, Mrs. Solomon, I am sorry. I would have wished to see our women have some participation in the Parliament of Religions.
I assure you that your wish will be granted.
I beg your pardon.
We will participate as women, on our own, as new women, if you like. And since you are going to meet a good many new women in the years to come, Mr. Chairman,
yes, Mrs.
let
Solomon.
me identify her for you. She is the woman who has the courage of her convictions, who expresses them when she sees fit to do so, and who follows them when the occasion arises. She is the woman who dares go into the world and do what her convictions demand.
And what are those convictions?
In this case, that she be represented with dignity in the Parliament of Religions. We hope that you will do us the honor of attending the women's sessions.
The fence which Hannah Solomon had promised to hurdle was more than 5 feet high. The year was 1893. There was no ready telephonic communication. There was no radio to flash the message across the continent in the twinkling of an eye. No non-stop flights were as yet scheduled between Chicago and New York. Do you suppose this stopped Hannah Solomon? Hannah Solomon pulled on her boots, they were size 3, donned her combat uniform, a trailing gown of white cotton lace, and sounded a clarion call to action. There were new women in Chicago who were ready.
But how, Hannah? That's the question.
We said we're going to present a Jewish Women's Congress at the Parliament of Religions. We'll do it.
Agreed. But that means gathering together the leading Jewish women of a country.
Exactly.
But we don't even know who they are.
We'll find out.
But how, Hannah?
We'll start out by writing to the rabbis of all the congregations in the country. They should be able to make recommendations.
By writing to all the rabbis?
As many as we can find addresses for.
But, Hannah, that's hundreds of personal letters to be written.
My dear, it's more than letters we'll be writing.
There's something else to be enclosed?
No, that's not what I mean. What we're beginning now is the very first attempt of Jewish women anywhere to assemble together as an entity in a great religious gathering. The very first. It's not just letters we'll be writing. We'll be writing history.
Hannah, do you have any idea of how many letters we've written in these past months?
Have you been counting?
More than 2,000.
It's not the number of letters that counts. It's the number of women coming to the Congress.
I know.
I think we may have as many as 100.
It's wonderful. Really wonderful. But, Hannah...
But what, my dear?
But isn't it rather a waste? I mean, to bring these women together, the women of intelligence and understanding that we found, to bring them together for so short a time and then to let them go their ways?
Do you think that is what will happen?
Won't it, Hannah?
Do you really think we've worked these many months to write a bright tale? They met and parted?
Well, haven't we?
My dear, I told you we were writing history. We will never let them go. Out of this Congress, we will shape something permanent, something organized. Oh, something urgently needed.
Do you think we can, Hannah? Do you think we really can?
I'll answer your question with a question. Why not?
They came, the Jewish women of America, marching uncertainly at first, to join their brothers and their sisters of the world in the great Parliament of Religions. On the 400th anniversary of the discovery of America, they came, the men of every clime from every corner of the earth, to meet beneath the banner of religion, the followers of Confucius and of Buddha, of the Jewish prophets, of Mohammed, of all the great religions of the West and East. And, among them, a little lady 4.5 feet tall, repeating with all assembled,
"Have we not all one Father? Hath not one God created us all?"
It was the beginning. The unity of men of many nations would be shattered many times in the years that followed, but one group, a group of gallant ladies, of new women, led by a lady 4.5 feet tall, would emerge in unity and permanence as the first national organization of Jewish women in the history of the world. This was her great creation, the National Council of Jewish Women, and at its head she would attack evil in a world that women never made, a world that would not ever be quite the same. She would lead a battalion that would become a brigade that would become an army of women, dedicated to faith and humanity, sometimes at its head, always at its heart. She would organize Jewish women in many lands and sit with the women of all faiths in earnest universal striving for peace and justice. She would consecrate every day of the week to the service of the poor and persecuted, the underprivileged and the unemancipated. And, eventually, the eternally opposed man would ask with newly gained compassion,
"Mrs. Solomon, how do you endure all you see and hear?"
I believe all sense of horror leaves us when we stretch out our hands to help. Life is complete only when it has in its span consciousness of light, taken from the bright places in its own and transmitted into homes of sorrow and gloom, thus dividing the fullness of earth with those whose portions are nothingness.
She was a little lady, just 4.5 feet tall. And yet she was big as her heart, multiplied by the thousands of women she brought to fruitful endeavor. And she brought to many, including me, the realization that how little we are is unimportant. What is important is how big we are. I trust that Hannah Solomon would accept this tribute in the spirit in which it is offered, even from a man.
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover the cost of postage and handling. to the Jewish Theological Seminary of America, 3080 Broadway, New York 27, New York. Now we take great pleasure in presenting Mrs. Moise S. Kahn of New Orleans, President of the National Council of Jewish Women. Mrs. Kahn.
16 years have passed since Hannah Greenebaum Solomon flung her last challenge at life. And I have no doubt that when she knew she must at last face her Maker, she murmured quietly, "Why not?" When at 84, in the year 1942, her questing mind found the eternal answers and her courageous soul its everlasting peace, the work she had begun was deeply rooted in American Jewish life. And today the organization she founded, the first important national Jewish women's organization in the world, is celebrating its 65th birthday. Through these 65 years, the National Council of Jewish Women has continued in Hannah Solomon's image, dedicated to service to others and the responsibilities of informed citizenship. In our times, the need for a woman's helping hand has not diminished. The times in which we live are both critical and complex. The American Jewish woman of today recognizes that she must fill many roles. She cares about her growth as a citizen. She cares about the betterment of her own community. She cares about the development of a Jewish community 5,000 miles away. And she cares about all these things at once. As an American, she is concerned with the quality of American justice, the wholeness of American freedom, the sensitivity of American democracy, the opportunities for health and education for all fellow Americans, and the worthiness and success of American aims throughout the world. As a Jew, she believes that she is personally responsible for fulfilling her Jewish traditions through her actions and for passing on her Jewish heritage to her children. She has an awareness of historic continuity and a sense of identity with her fellow Jews everywhere. As a woman, she wishes to meet the practical needs of people with love and with understanding, to strengthen family life, and to achieve in her own neighborhood what she speaks for as a citizen. This is the American Jewish woman to whom our organization addresses itself today. Great personalities like Hannah Solomon are few in each generation. They are the prophets of our times who conceive the direction, pioneer the road, and point the way to the future. Very few of us can be prophets, but each of us can, in her own way, make her own contribution to society. Moved by the indomitable spirit and great vision of Hannah Solomon, we perpetuate her memory through our work for democracy and for human welfare. In this, the 65th year of its history, the National Council of Jewish Women rededicates itself to the principles which make her immortal.
Thank you, Mrs. Kahn. Our Eternal Light drama today, 4.5 Feet of Faith, was written by Mark Siegel. Hannah Putterman sang the liturgical introduction. Featured in the cast were Virginia Payne, Leon Janney, Roger DeKoven, Beverly Lunsford, Iva Francis, and Rita Lloyd. Your narrator was Norman Rose. This is Lionel Rico speaking. Our program is directed by Daniel Sutter. This weekly program is presented under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. This is the NBC Radio Network.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation. And it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Our program today, 2 Ounces of Lead, was written by Mark Siegel.
A 100 years ago, as blue-clad soldiers marched the dusty roads that led to tragedy and victory at Gettysburg and Chancellorsville, at Lookout Mountain and all the storied battlegrounds of the Civil War, there was a song that echoed to the cadence of marching feet. Perhaps you remember the words. John Brown's body lies a-moldering in the grave, but his truth goes marching on. What was his truth? It is that each man who lives bears a God-given responsibility not only for his own freedom, but for the freedom of all other men. It is a truth which marches on. This is a story of a man who fought with John Brown in the bitter years before the Civil War. But more than that, it is the story of a man who believed in freedom, who fought for freedom, who defended freedom and extended freedom. His name was August Bundy. His life is part of America's glory.
And of course I can tell you about August Bundy. One of the first jobs he ever worked at in this country was as a clerk in my dry goods store in St. Louis. Later we were partners. Benjamin, Bundy, and Wiener, that was the firm, General Merchandise. I was the senior partner. Jacob Benjamin's the name. There's lots to tell about August, but I guess the one thing that stands for all the rest is that when he died, he had 2 ounces of lead in his body. He was very proud of those 2 ounces of lead.
You cannot win a struggle without being a target. Every man who loves freedom has 2 ounces of lead in his body.
I used to tell him he needn't be so proud.
Depends on why you're wounded, Jacob, and for what. These 2 ounces of lead are part of freedom. I added them to my weight in the Civil War, but I guess I was getting ready to acquire them a long time before that.
And that was true. August Bundy spent his whole life acquiring those 2 ounces of lead. To understand those 2 ounces of lead, you have to go back a few years and to the other side. To the year 1848 in Vienna, when August was 15 years old.
Mama! Mama, where are you?
Here, August, packing.
And Papa?
Arranging for a carriage. He'll be here in a few minutes.
Oh, it won't be too soon.
It's bad out there, August? In the city?
No, Mama. Quiet now. But they are making arrests.
Oh, don't worry, my son. We'll escape.
That's not why I worry, Mama.
Oh. You're thinking of Otto, then?
Yes, of Otto and David and so many others.
August, it's terrible. So young they were.
But to die for nothing, Mama, for nothing.
August, don't say that. It was not for nothing.
But they've crushed us, Mama. Don't you understand?
Of course I understand.
All we asked was a right to be free. All we wanted was a republic, a country where men would be equal. Now it's over.
It's not over, August. It's never over, my child. And you will also learn that Otto and David and the others, they didn't die for nothing.
How can you be sure, Mama? How can you be so sure?
August, when Moses led our people out of Egypt, he himself did not reach the promised land. People who fight for freedom, August, they live forever in all generations. Oh, you remember that, my child?
I will try, Mama.
Good, then. Now help me close this chest. Pop will be here soon with the carriage.
And we go to a land, God willing, August, where we can make a new life of freedom.
They came to St. Louis. There were many of us in St. Louis then. Immigrants from Austria and Bohemia, men who had fought in Germany, in Hungary, in all of Central Europe for a new freedom, but who had been defeated. Or it seemed then to us that we had been defeated. Most of us in those first years struggled for a foothold in America. We became peddlers and farmers and storekeepers and tried for the moment to put out of our minds everything but the need of earning our bread. Most of us, I say, but not young August Bundy.
Mama.
What is it, August?
Mama, there is something I must tell you. I've told Papa already.
It's so serious, August?
Early tomorrow morning I am leaving for New Orleans.
New Orleans? Why to New Orleans?
There are some men who are making up an expedition to Cuba. To free Cuba from Spanish rule.
To fight, August?
If necessary.
Again, August, again to fight.
Someone must do it, Mama. They are like slaves in Cuba.
But you again, my son? 2 years we've been in St. Louis. You have worked. You have your first position, yes? Why should you go to Cuba?
Mama, the people, they are like slaves in Cuba.
You said that before, August.
And once, Mama, the day we left Vienna, you said the struggle for freedom is never over.
There are many ways to struggle for freedom, August. And not all the ways are with guns.
I know that.
To work to build a free country. That's also to struggle for freedom.
But there are others who will do that. But, Mama, there aren't many willing to help the people of another country.
I see. August, you're 17. That's a restless age. Do you go to help the Cubans? Or
For what?
For your own needs. Because you're restless, perhaps, or because you seek excitement and adventure?
If I go, does it matter why I go?
You haven't answered my question.
Mama, in Vienna you told me a man must fight for the freedom of all men. Does it matter why he fights?
It matters very much.
But why? Doesn't it come to the same thing in the end?
No. Not the same thing at all, my son. August, the world is full of men who do the right thing for the wrong reason.
And that is wrong? Even if what they do helps others?
Very wrong, August.
Mama, I don't understand. How can one man ever know why another man does what he does?
The important thing is that the man himself should know why he does what he does.
And if others think he is wrong?
Then it doesn't matter. If he knows in his heart that what he does is right, that's the path he must follow. Think, August. Think before you go. And if you go for the right reason, God be with you, my child.
He was only 17 years old then. And that night he struggled with his soul. And when he had satisfied himself that he was joining the expedition not for his own needs, but because he believed that men should live in dignity and freedom, he set out for New Orleans. It was a year later that I first met him.
Mr. Benjamin?
That's my name, young man. What can I do for you?
I'm August Bundy, Mr. Benjamin. I read your notice. I've come to make application for the position.
Sit down, Bundy.
Thank you, sir.
I suppose you've worked as a clerk in a store before?
No, sir.
You've kept books, then?
No, sir. I haven't done much of anything, sir, except being a soldier.
I wasn't aware that there was a war just now.
I fought in Vienna, Mr. Benjamin, and last year in Cuba.
Ah.
Both times we lost.
Yes, I know. Young man, the hours are 6 in the morning till 8 at night. You'll have to keep records of the stock, keep the store spotless clean, feed the stove with wood that you've chopped, wait on folks and deliver what they buy. You think you can learn to do it?
I'm sure I can, Mr. Benjamin.
You'll work hard, but the pay is fair. $2 a week. If you're willing, I'm ready to give you a try.
Thank you, sir, but...
But what, Bundy?
Well, there's a question I'd like to ask you.
Ask it.
Do you keep any slaves?
Why do you ask?
I won't work for a man who keeps slaves.
Even if the pay is good?
Even if the pay were $20 a week.
Really?
Really.
Good. I'm glad you asked. I've been looking for a man to work for me who wouldn't work for a man who kept slaves. You can start work tomorrow. He was a good clerk, but more than that, he was a good man. For 4 years he worked for me in St. Louis, and in those 4 years he became invaluable, not only in our business, but as a friend. It was in the spring of 1855 that I asked him to become my partner.
Jacob, I'm grateful to you.
Now, you needn't be, August. You've more than earned a partnership.
But I must refuse.
What's that?
I've been wanting to tell you, Jacob. I'm going across the line, into the Kansas territory.
August, Kansas is a battleground. The pro-slavery men are driving the Free Staters out of the territory every day.
That's why I'm going.
They're desperados, August. They'll stop at nothing.
Jacob, if they're allowed to do what they're doing now, Kansas will come into the Union as a slave state.
I know that as well as you do, August, but doesn't the partnership with me mean anything to you, August?
It means a lot. But there are things which mean much more.
You're sure you're not doing this simply because you're looking for a change? Did I say something funny?
No, not really, Jacob. It just seems to me that every time a man makes a decision to do something different, someone's bound to ask him if he isn't maybe just plain restless.
That's logical, isn't it?
Only if the man doesn't have convictions. That's something I thrashed out with my mother a long time ago.
Well, I suppose I should have known you'd be going to Kansas sooner or later. Here. Take this as my parting gift.
A musket? I won't be needing it, Jacob.
August, don't be a fool. You'll have to fight to survive in Kansas.
If I have to fight, I'll get a musket. But not before.
If you're not planning to fight, just what is it you're going to do in the territory?
Do? Jacob, I'll be opening a store, just like this one.
And you think opening a store is going to keep Kansas free?
There are many ways to build freedom, Jacob. Not only with guns. That's something else my mother taught me.
She's a very wise woman.
The wisest.
It'll take a lot of work for us to get going.
Us?
Of course, us. Your mother's just convinced me to go to Kansas. We crossed the line into the territory on April 2nd, 1855. And in May, we settled on the Mosquito branch of Pottawatomie Creek in Franklin County. We kept our goods under canvas to protect them from the weather and began to build a little cabin that would be our store.
Well, Jacob, I guess that does it for today.
Unless you're looking to work by starlight, August.
Oh. It'll be a fine store. The claim here's a real pretty one. Good water, lots of timber. What more could we ask?
We could ask not to be molested. That's what we could ask.
No one's bothered us to now, Jacob.
Don't count on it to stay that way.
I won't. Oh, come on. Let's hew another beam, Jacob.
Well, there it is. Pretty as can be.
It'll do for a start. Now let's get our stock inside and onto the shelves.
Good.
Then tomorrow we can let the folks around here know that we're ready for business. Come on right in.
Welcome to Benjamin and Bondi. You're our first customer, friend.
How do?
We've a full stock of axes, shovels, blankets...
Hold on, mister. I ain't buying just yet.
Well, sure. Have a look around.
Ain't looking just yet, neither.
Suit yourself.
Come by to see where you fellas stand.
How's that?
Things is pretty divided hereabouts in Franklin County.
What do you want to know, friend?
Don't want to know nothing, really. Just stopped by to give you all a friendly word.
And your friendly word, what is it?
Be careful of fires. Been lots of fires hereabouts lately.
We've heard. We watch our fires very carefully.
Makes sense to. Seems as how a mighty lot of folks has been burned out. Particularly Free Staters, Mr. Bondi and Benjamin. You understand?
It was the first threat, but not the last. For it was a tangled time in Kansas, those years of the late 1850s. The country waited and watched, wondering if the Kansas Territory would enter the Union as a free or a slave state. And the decision was being left to men like August. It was in October of 55 we heard the Free State men were holding an election for a territorial convention. When the news came to us, August was down with a fever.
I don't care about it, Jacob. You've got to take me along.
Now, it's a 3-day ride, August. It'll be your death to go.
But this is why we came to Kansas in the first place, Jacob. Remember?
Certainly I remember. But you can't sit in a saddle 10 minutes, let alone 3 days.
The ox cart, then. Just load me into the ox cart.
I never knew a man more stubborn. You've got a fever, August. Can't you admit it?
I've got more than one kind of fever. Get out the ox cart, Jacob.
Well, there she is. That's the meeting house.
Told you I'd make it, Jacob.
Fact is, August, you look healthier than when we started.
Doing the right thing? That's a tonic, Jacob.
Tonic or no tonic, I'm happy you're alive. Well, let's get you on inside, where we can meet some of the Free State folk we've been looking for.
Brothers in freedom. Brothers in freedom. We're met to take our stand, to say our say, to declare in the sight of the Lord who created man equal, that we live by his word. Shall the sinful blight of slavery fall upon the Kansas Territory? No.
We listened to Free State men of Kansas Territory, and a man named John Brown thundered his intention. His white beard flowing, his eyes ablaze, his jaw set, and our resolve was hardened, as John Brown, who looked like a Hebrew prophet, spoke the words of a Hebrew prophet.
Let his word guide us. Let us stand fast in our righteousness. Let each man look to the words of the Holy Scriptures. Justice shalt thou pursue.
Captain Brown?
Sir?
My name is Bondi, August Bondi.
From down Pottawatomie way? They've told me of you.
I've looked to meeting you, Captain, for almost half a year.
They're not very friendly to Free Staters out there, I'm thinking.
No, not very.
Likely things will be worse when you get back there and folks know you've been to vote.
I suspect so.
You can count on me and my sons to help if things get bad, Bondi.
And you on us, Captain.
But I'm hoping and praying they won't. Though I doubt the slave men will give up without violence.
Those that talk against you say you hope for violence, Captain.
Do you hope for it?
I hope for peace.
Good. I won't tolerate a man who looks for fighting. We came from Ohio, all my family. Our cattle, all we own. We didn't come to fight.
I believe you, Captain.
We settled in the territory to help make Kansas a free state by lawful means. But we're bound to resist force by force. That's part of a man's duty to God.
Captain Brown, there are words of a hero of my faith that fit.
Of your faith?
I am a Jew.
Ah, then, Bondi, I believe I know the words.
You do?
I believe I do. Are they not? Resistance to tyranny is obedience to God.
It took 3 days in the saddle for us to get back to our claim. But the news of the Free Staters meeting got to Potawatomi before us.
Jacob! Jacob, do you see it?
Smoke! And for sure it's hanging over our claim.
Burned to the ground.
Yeah.
Well, they told us to take care of fires, didn't they?
Well, August, what now?
Now, we'll build again.
And if they burn us out again?
We'll build another time. Jacob, it takes a lot of building to build liberty.
We built again. And they burned us out again. We built a third time. And now it seemed burning us out had become too slow.
What is it, Jacob?
A rock this time. There's a note on it.
Yeah. Get out and stay out.
I mean it, August.
Yes, they do.
August, don't you think it's time we armed ourselves?
Not yet, Jacob. Not till they force us to.
The wave of violence grew not only on Potawatomi Creek, but all over Kansas. And on the morning of May 21st, 1856, we were awakened by the sound of galloping hooves.
Barney, Benjamin, we're here.
One of Captain Brown's men.
The pro-slavery men, they've attacked the town of Lawrence.
Attacked? With guns?
With guns, with fire, even with cannon. Captain Brown's getting men together.
We're with you then.
I'll saddle the horses.
No time for that, Jacob. We'll ride without saddles. You'll find 2 rifles in the hollow log behind the shed.
You have 2 rifles?
Since the day we got here, Jacob. Now hurry. There's no time to be lost.
We joined John Brown, his 4 sons, and a few others. And at Lawrence, Kansas, we fired what were really the first shots of the Civil War. We were too late to save the lives of the Free State men of Lawrence. Too late to do more than show that in the name of freedom, free men would resist force by force. By nightfall, we were in flight. We retreated to a secluded ravine some 20 miles to the north to camp for the night. By the light of the campfire, I looked at the faces of the 9 other men in John Brown's company. John Brown looked into the fire as if it were the future. There was no trace of defeat in that heroic face. Nor was there in the face of August Bondy, my partner.
You look weary, Jacob. Try to sleep.
I am weary, August. But it is a weariness of the spirit. They've outnumbered us. They've outmaneuvered us.
And you wonder what sense it makes to go on fighting.
Yes, I do. I think it's time to go back to Missouri.
No. It is time to stay.
But this fight, it's lost, August. It's over.
It's never over, Jacob.
What do you mean?
It's something my mother taught me long ago. The fight for freedom. It's never over.
And for the men who died today, it's not over for them?
People who fight for freedom, Jacob, they live forever, in all generations. This, too, my mother taught me. And it is something that I know, Jacob. Something that I feel. Something that I believe with all my soul. So I think, does John Brown.
In the years that followed, millions of men marched to the swinging cadence of a song. And among those men was August Bondy, my partner and my friend. He served in the Kansas Volunteer Cavalry until the last year of the Civil War, when his wounds brought him his discharge. It was in the Civil War he picked up the 2 ounces of lead he carried in his body till he died. And sometimes, it seems to me, he's marching still with John Brown down the dusty road of history in your time as he did in mine. For those 2 ounces of lead are part of freedom, and people who fight for freedom, they live forever in all generations. It is a truth which marches on.
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover the cost of postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary of America, 3080 Broadway, New York 27, New York. And now we take great pleasure in presenting Mr. Milton Wheel, prominent communal leader of New York City, former president of the Federation of Jewish Philanthropies of New York, and honorary trustee of the Park Avenue Synagogue, New York City. Mr. Wheel.
August Bundy's story might have taken place today. Its locale might be our own South. It might be the Far East. It might be South Africa. It might be any place or many places in the world where men struggle for human rights, for freedom from oppression, or freedom for equality. Our founding fathers spelled out their beliefs in freedom in a stirring Declaration of Independence and in a masterful Constitution. Rudyard Kipling poetically phrased his thought when he wrote, "All we have of freedom, all we use or know, this our fathers bought for us long and long ago." When President Roosevelt acclaims, as he did in 1941, his concept of the 4 freedoms, when President Eisenhower proclaims the rights of small nations and free men to defend their concept of freedom by democratic processes, and is ready to bring to their assistance aid with which to resist outside forces that seek to destroy this freedom by ruthless, aggressive measures, when the United Nations dedicates itself to the protection of the rights of all nations, to the peaceful resolvement of their individual destinies, they seek, in a much broader way, for the same principles and ideals that Bundy, in his individual way, fought to preserve. Today we still have our enemies of freedom, even as in Bundy's day when those opposed to freedom took the law in their own bigoted hands and burned down the homes of those who fought for the rights of man. So today do we still find right here in our own United States fiendish enemies of a free way of life, irresponsibly bombing out sacred houses of worship to threaten and bludgeon those who stand for principles with which they do not agree. The world needs today, as it did in Bundy's day, fighters for freedom, men ready to risk the danger of even more than 2 ounces of lead. Yes, even as in August Bundy's day, the struggle for the right of free men to remain free is never over. As in the case of John Brown, its truth must still go marching on.
Thank you, Mr. Weil. Our Eternal Light drama today, 2 Ounces of Lead, was written by Mark Segal. Cantor David Putterman sang the liturgical introduction. Featured in the cast were Leon Janney, Bob Hastings, Beatrice Pons, Danny Acco, and Guy Rep. Norman Rose was your narrator. This is Lionel Rico speaking. Our program is directed by Parker Gibbs. This weekly program is presented under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. This is the NBC Radio Network.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation. And it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Our program today, Moses Levy in the Wilderness, is written by Joseph Mindell.
Excuse me, will you tell me, please, where is the governor's mansion? I have just arrived here in St. Augustine. Where is the governor?
No comprendo. Pregúntale a otra persona.
Oh, hágame el favor de decir... he is in a hurry, that one. Sir, excuse me, but can you tell me... dites-moi, s'il vous plaît, où est le palais du gouverneur?
Le gouverneur, c'est pas là. Voyez-vous? Pas là.
Well, I do not see that there is anything humorous.
Nothing personal, mister. When a man asks a question in 3 languages and gets no answer...
Should I try Arabic or Hebrew or Danish?
Could you?
If you have lived in many places, you learn many languages.
Where are you from?
Well, why should it interest you, my friend?
Stockton's my name, Jeff Stockton. You got any secrets I don't want to know?
Well, it's no secret, Mr. Stockton. I was born in Morocco.
You don't look like an Arab.
My name is Moses Elias Levy. Do I look like a Jew?
Don't know. I never saw one before. About all those languages...
Oh, yes. After Morocco, I lived in Gibraltar, then the island of St. Thomas, then Cuba, and most recently Charleston.
Yeah?
If you will be good enough to tell me where I can find the governor...
Old Hickory's in Pensacola on the Gulf.
Old Hickory?
Andy. General Jackson. But he has a deputy here in St. Augustine. If you don't mind my asking, Mr. Levy, you've traveled a good bit. Any special reason for coming here to Florida?
A very special reason, Mr. Stockton. I'm tired of traveling.
In the year 1821, Moses Elias Levy came to St. Augustine in the territory of Florida, newly acquired from Spain. He came as one who has been a stranger in strange lands, so that his coming was a seeking, a pilgrimage.
It is good of you to see me.
As Deputy Governor, I'll be glad to help you in any way I can, Mr. Levy.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Again, I make you laugh, Mr. Stockton. I think you are easily amused.
Don't mind Jeff, Mr. Levy. We fought together in the Seminole War under Andy Jackson. He still sees me in dirty buckskins covered with swamp mud. Hey, Jeff?
I sure do, Your Excellency.
Besides, we don't go much for titles.
I see. I suppose it's natural.
It is?
Considering that the governor himself is known as Old Hickory.
Well, now, what can I do for you, Mr. Levy?
When I was still in Cuba, I bought some land here in Florida.
Oh, whereabouts?
Inland, around Lake George. I plan to grow sugarcane there.
Well, it's out of the question.
Sugarcane grows in Cuba. The climate here is not greatly different.
Mr. Levy, you go a few miles inland from the ocean, or from the Gulf of Mexico on the other side of the peninsula, and you're in heavy forest, swampland, jungle. It's a wilderness.
Land can be cleared.
Now, you don't understand. There are no settlements, no roads.
Roads can be built.
You're a stubborn man, Mr. Levy. Now, I'm trying to help you.
You can, by finding me a guide.
Oh, if that's what you want, it's easy enough. The Jeff was a scout for Jackson in the war. He's been through that country.
Well, Mr. Stockton, will you do it?
I don't know.
I'll pay you well.
I never yet did anything for money I didn't want to do.
Well, I meant no offense.
Oh, money don't offend me, mister. I tell you what I think. Might be worth it just to see your face when we get there. All right, Moses Levy, I'll take you where you want to go. Well, what do you think?
It is a wilderness, Jeff.
Well, that's what I said. I guess you've seen enough, huh?
This little clearing is the place to begin.
We'll start back to St. Augustine in the morning.
Stream runs close by. The ground is level enough.
Well, I'll be...
What's the trouble, Jeff?
We were 5 days, coming 60 miles. From the St. Johns River on, we practically chopped our way through. This is the only spot for miles around where the trees stand out enough so you can see the sky. And you start making plans.
Of course. That's why I came.
You're a stubborn man, Moses Levy.
That's what Governor Jackson's deputy said. Still, you came with me from St. Augustine.
I figure you and Andy Jackson are the two stubbornest men this side of the Alleghenies.
All I want is to build a house and grow sugarcane.
That's all, huh?
I'll need men with strong backs, willing to work. Can I find them in St. Augustine?
Well, sure.
Now, let's see. The other houses should be further down along the stream.
Now, listen to me. What other houses?
For the plantation workers later on.
Now, what's on your mind, Moses? To grow sugar cane or build a city?
Well, maybe the two are not so different. Will you help me, Jeff?
Nobody can help you. What you want can't be done.
I do not know this General Jackson of yours, but I have a feeling that on occasion you have said the same thing to him.
Moses, if you and him ever got into a hassle, it would be a sight to see.
He and I would not disagree, I think. About his deputy in St. Augustine, I'm not so sure. Now, you know what I want, Jeff. How many men will I need?
Plenty. First you'll have to buy enough slaves.
No.
What's the cheapest way?
I want the best way, not the cheapest. If you are building a city or growing sugarcane, the best way is not with slaves, but with free men. Now, you will pick out the logs of oak, of hard pine, and put them aside. You understand, Miguel?
Si, Senor Levy.
The carpenters will saw them into planks. The rest?
The rest we burn when we burn the stumps. It will be done. Buenos dias, Senor Stockton.
Same to you, Miguel. Hey, I sure got a bargain for you and him and the others.
What do you mean, the others?
The Spaniards. They work for half the usual wages.
Well, not here, Jeff. I pay by the work a man does, not according to where he was born.
Don't be a fool, Moses. You know what they work for under the Spanish governor?
I do not care to know.
They don't expect no more, those Spaniolas. Well, what's the matter now?
I wonder, when you talk about me, Jeff, you say, that Jew?
Oh, come on now, Moses. That's different.
Well, Florida has an American governor now. That's why I came. Because in America, there are not differences for different people, but the same for all. At least, that is what I thought.
Oh, sure.
Then I will pay each man the same.
It's your money. It seems to me there are easier and less expensive ways of building a plantation.
Maybe, Jeff. But I am also building a place in which I want to live.
Slowly, the wilderness yielded a small space, and Moses Elias Levy built a house. Andrew Jackson named his house in Tennessee the Hermitage, the place to which he retired from the world. Moses Levy called his the Pilgrimage, coming to it eagerly after long seeking. When the house was finished, he made the journey back to St. Augustine.
Howdy, Mr. Levy.
I hear you pay good wages, Mr. Levy. You need another hand?
Well, as a matter of fact, I am looking for people.
Well, you found one.
Is your family with you here in Florida?
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Levy, I'm a backwoodsman all the time, but a soldier when there's fighting. All the family I got's right here, my gun and my axe.
I see.
You give me a good partner, I can clear an acre in a week. You can believe that.
Oh, I believe it. But there's enough land cleared. Now the stumps have to be burned out, the soil made ready, the crop planted and cared for and harvested. It's year-round work. Well?
You don't want me, Mr. Levy. You want a man to live on the land.
There's a time for the gun and the axe, Jeff, but the land is ready now.
Be reasonable, Moses. You can't expect men to bring their wives and children to live out there.
Well, I do expect it.
Everybody don't have the same hankering for your wilderness that you do.
A wilderness is where no people live. Jeff, tell them houses are waiting for them, a place to work and to raise a family. Everything. Everything except one thing.
What's that?
A school for the children. Jeff, look for people willing to live on the land, and look also for a schoolmaster. Is this an official visit, Mr. Deputy Governor?
Call it unofficial curiosity, Mr. Levy. I see your settlement is growing.
20 families so far, and more coming, Jeff Stockton says.
Oh, yes, Jeff Stockton. He's been making inquiries about a schoolmaster.
Yes.
Mr. Levy, officially this is not my business. Yet. But maybe you won't mind if I make a suggestion or two.
A man should never refuse to hear advice.
Mm-hmm. I've had experience in this inland country. Out here, important matters should come first.
I agree with you entirely, sir.
Oh, do you? Well, take the road, for example. From the St. John's River on, it's little more than a trail.
We are working to improve it.
Then there's the matter of defense. It's true that Indian trouble is unlikely.
We are friendly with the Indians.
Oh, yes, I know. Then you don't need a stockade. All the same, you should post sentries to keep watch.
We had a meeting to consider it and voted against it.
It's not a question of voting. Mr. Levy, the safety of this settlement is my responsibility.
And mine, too. But we do not seem to agree on what safety is.
No, not when you neglect your roads and defenses and look for a schoolmaster.
I have also had experience with safety. When I was a child, my father was Grand Vizier to the Sultan of Morocco.
Mr. Levy, I will listen to the story of your life another time.
I want you to understand now. We lived in a house guarded by soldiers and surrounded by a wall of stone, 12 feet high. But they were no protection when a new sultan came to power.
Well, get to the point, Mr. Levy.
I lived in Europe when it was ruled by Napoleon, and in Cuba under the King of Spain.
But you're in America now. It's different.
Yes, it is different. If there are Indians or outlaws, I'm not afraid because guns and stockades can be sufficient protection. But how do you provide safety against kings and emperors?
You're talking about something else entirely.
Do you know the words of the psalm? Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain.
I did not come to hear scripture, Mr. Levy, but to investigate the conditions of your settlement.
That is just what I'm talking about. An investigation made long ago by a wise man who came to a town and was shown the watchmen on the four corners of the walls. They are no profit to a city, he said. They are only an expense.
Save your stories for children. Do you take me for a fool?
No. A man as wise, I hope, as this one. For he said, the Lord does not guard a city where there are no schools. The real watchmen are the schoolmasters. Mr. Deputy Governor, when you return to St. Augustine, will you help Jeff Stockton find us a watchman?
It's no use, Moses. I asked for near every man in St. Augustine that can read and write.
Jeff, this is Miss Sarah Hickman.
Howdy, man. I even sent word to Pensacola.
Yes, I know. That's why Sarah is here. Jeff, your mouth is open.
You're not telling me she's going to teach school here?
Why shouldn't I teach school here? I know how to read and write.
And a good deal more, according to my friend Rebecca Gratz of Philadelphia.
But a woman schoolmaster.
Usually called schoolmistress. You object to females, Mr. Stockton?
Why, no. Only you being out here alone.
I've been alone in the Florida Territory since my father died.
It's not safe, Miss Sarah.
I came here alone from Pensacola. No one bothered me.
I mean, well, you being a single woman.
Mr. Stockton, I'm an old maid of 32. I'm not handsome, but...
No, I wouldn't say that.
I'm saying it. I'm no beauty, but I have a mind and some education. And I intend to use them for a good purpose.
Does it have to be in Moses Levy's wilderness?
There are families with children here, and there will be more. Don't you believe in education, Mr. Stockton?
Oh, I'm all for it, ma'am.
I'm glad to hear that.
Once or twice, I even wished I had more learning myself.
Aha.
Now, don't you go aha on me, Moses. You ought to know by now that I'm going to say what I think.
I'm listening, Jeff.
All right. If I wanted to grow sugar cane, I'd clear me a plantation and get to work without bothering my head about schools and school teachers.
If you were contractor to the Spanish army in Cuba, why would you want to leave a prosperous business to grow sugar cane?
Why? Well, because any man in his right mind would rather live in a free country.
Then you understand why I have to do what I'm doing.
I know what you're trying to say, Moses. Now, you listen to me. If there's got to be schools, that's the government's business.
Mr. Levy, am I or am I not the schoolmistress of this settlement?
There are problems, Sarah, but you are.
Then I must go to work. Where is the schoolhouse?
Now that is the first problem. The schoolhouse has not yet been built.
I'm not sure I understand you, Mr. Levy.
It's very simple, Mr. Deputy Governor. Aside from the construction of the building, we will need desks and benches, slates...
And school books. The total initial cost is in that itemized account.
The yearly maintenance cost is less, naturally. Only replacement of worn-out books, slates, and Sarah's wages, of course.
If that amount seems large, I can do with less.
I won't hear of it, Sarah. You're entitled to...
If this is some kind of joke, it has gone far enough.
A gentleman, sir, does not lose his temper.
And a lady doesn't make herself ridiculous in public. Do you really expect me to advance the money for this school of yours?
Who else? After all, as representative of the United States government in the Florida Territory, you have certain duties...
Don't teach me my duty! All right, let's be reasonable about this. Now, look, you can use the fees you will collect as collateral.
Oh, no fees. It should be a school free to all children.
I'll have it your way. In any case, surely your credit is good, and if you're temporarily short of funds...
It is not a question of that at all.
Well, then why do you come to me for money?
My dear sir, I do not need it for myself. Florida needs it.
I just don't know what to make of him. You've been listening, Jeff. What is the man after?
He only wants to build a house and grow sugar cane. That's what he says. Don't you believe it?
You're beginning to talk like him. What does he want?
I don't know for sure. Takes a little time to get to know Moses Levy. Maybe he wants to civilize the wilderness.
It is no great mystery. I only want what every man in his right mind wants. You have not moved from one place to another all your life. Maybe you are fortunate. I do not know. But always where I have lived, the people were untaught and ignorant, because kings and Bonapartes do not want the people to be in their right mind.
As far as I'm concerned, Moses, you don't have to prove anything. You can do what you like in your wilderness.
Ignorance is also a kind of wilderness. And I do not want to live in a wilderness, but in a free country, among free men. Don't you see?
I'm not the man you have to convince.
Mr. Levy, it is not a matter of convincing anybody. You can afford it, you say? Fine. Then go ahead and have your school.
I think you misunderstand me for a purpose. Yes, I can afford to build a schoolhouse and buy books and benches and pay Sarah's wages. But can you? Can the territory of Florida afford not to do it? What was it you said, Jeff? If there are to be schools, then that is the government's concern?
Mr. Levy, you force too much responsibility on me and take too much on yourself.
You give me too much credit. It is not my idea. There have been so many others before me. Sarah told me about a man who was once your president.
Thomas Jefferson.
I do not remember his words exactly, and they should be said as he said them.
I remember. If a nation expects to be ignorant and free in a state of civilization, it expects what never was and never will be.
I will tell you what I expect. Not to make the whole world free all at once, but to begin with a small clearing and make the wilderness smaller.
You didn't really expect him to do what you want, Moses. Well, now, did you?
Well, it's not a simple question, Jeff. You see, I'm a very practical man.
Practical?
What I am. I know what is likely to be, but I must act as if I expected something quite different, as if I expected what should be. And one day it will be different.
Bonjour, Monsieur Levy. Comment ça va? How goes it, eh?
Ça va, mon ami. It goes.
And in the meantime, Moses?
I'll tell you, Jeff. I like the smell of the air. I like the sound of so many languages. And the look of so many different kinds of people. I like this country. And so, in the meantime, I will go back and build a schoolhouse, and Sarah will teach the children.
You could have done that in the first place.
Oh, no. But next month, next year, I will try again. Someday there will be a new governor. There will be a legislature. Ça va, Jeff. It goes. Slowly, but it goes.
Morning, Mr. Levy. Sure you can't use a good hand with an axe?
No, but there's other work. Maybe you will come to settle on the land.
Well, who knows? One of these days, maybe I'll change my mind. It's a free country.
Moses Levy returned to the wilderness and planted fields and cut roads and built houses. But it was not yet a city, not until he gathered the children, and they sat together to learn.
If a nation expects to be ignorant and free in a state of civilization, it expects what never was and never will be.
And then, it was no longer a wilderness, but a foundation stone of a universe. For it is also written, the world rests on the breath of children in the schoolroom.
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover the cost of postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary of America, 3080 Broadway, New York 27, New York. Now we take great pleasure in presenting the Honorable Charles H. Silver, President of the Board of Education of New York City and a prominent civic leader. Mr. Silver.
This morning's dramatic presentation deals with many themes close to the minds and the hearts of educators. The story of Moses Levy demonstrates that man cannot live by bread alone, even in a primitive wilderness community where sheer survival seemed miracle enough. Moses Levy understood that no real society is possible without education. Ignorance, we are reminded, is itself a kind of wilderness, and the truly human impulse is to conquer and order the wilderness both without and within the human heart. Schools and places of worship must follow homes. That is the natural sequence of civilized society. The story reminds us of the enormous sacrifice in setting up a school on the American frontier more than 100 years ago. Should we not then feel challenged in our own age of abundance to provide ampler educational opportunities? The wilderness has long passed, but there are always educational frontiers. There are many thousands of young Americans who are receiving either a marginal education or who are being deprived of the higher education that their own abilities would warrant. This is a frontier which cries out for the same boldness and determination that Moses Levy displayed in a lonely Florida outpost. The world of tomorrow is being built in the classrooms of today. Can we afford not to succeed in this vital area? I like the sound of so many languages and the look of so many different kinds of people, Moses Levy declares. The school is the meeting place for countless children who long to live and play together and share the matchless heritage of American democracy. Moses Levy hearkened to Thomas Jefferson's stirring words. If a nation expects to be ignorant and free in a state of civilization, it expects what never was and never will be. The natural climate of freedom is knowledge. Otherwise, freedom shrinks and withers. At a time when the stakes are highest, when the race between disaster and wisdom gets faster and faster, we cannot afford to fail. It may well be that in the final reckoning of history, our own age may be described not as the atomic age or the jet age, but rather the age of education. What nobler title could any period enjoy?
Thank you, Mr. Silver. Our Eternal Light drama today, Moses Levy in the Wilderness, was written by Joseph Mindell and was suggested by the proceedings of the Conference on the Writing of Regional History in the South. Featured in the cast were Louis Van Rooten, Carl Weber, Norman Rose, Mitzi Gould, Jim Bowles, Leon Janney, and Roger Boxell. This is Lionel Rico speaking. Our program is directed by George Voutsas. This weekly program is presented under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. David Futterman sang the liturgical introduction. This is the NBC Radio Network.
the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive beaten for the lights, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation. And it shall be a statute forever in your generation.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Our program today, The Horse and His Riders, written by Joseph Mindell.
You've wasted enough time. Let the proceedings begin.
Preparations always seem long, but we are ready now. Bring the first witness. You know the purpose of this investigation?
I do.
Then put it out of your mind. You will be asked questions. Just answer them fully and exactly. You are the clerk in charge of records.
Chief clerk, if you please. Head of the Department of Records.
Oh, yes, of course. Now, I ask you to state as accurately as you can the total...
So, the generals are afraid to show their faces. They send a wrinkled old scribbler of words to talk for them.
The generals will speak for themselves later. But first, there are facts that must be made known.
I know the facts. I know what has happened. I want an explanation and an accounting.
It is not certain... I mean no disrespect. It is not certain that we know all the facts. Besides, those who come after us will know what we know.
I am not concerned with history.
All the same, history will deal with us, one way or another. It is better for your sake that the record be complete and clear.
Ramat, you talk too much.
It runs in the family. Your predecessor, the pharaoh my father served, used to say the same to him. If I may be permitted to proceed.
Go on. Only remember, I will deal with those responsible for the situation.
When they are discovered. Is the witness ready?
Ready, sir.
Good. Tell us first the total number of those who left Egypt.
By the most recent count, something over 600,000 Hebrews, men, women, and children, together with their herds, flocks, and other possessions, having an estimated value...
Give the figure to the clerk for the record, and give him also the value of the labor performed by the Hebrew people in building tombs, granaries, and other structures, as well as the total of their taxes paid.
What are you trying to prove, Ramat? That the Hebrews were a valuable possession? I know it. Why do you think I was reluctant to let them go?
Perhaps we also need to know why they wanted so much to leave.
Enough. Stop arguing.
Who will argue with the pharaoh?
The battle, Ramat. Get to the battle.
As you wish. I will lay the groundwork by the same witness. You have the records of the armed forces of Egypt?
I have all the records.
Good. How many troops were committed to the pursuit of the Hebrews?
All 600 chariots of the Special Corps, as well as all reserve chariots and men.
How many returned from the Red Sea?
Well, everybody knows that. A handful came back.
That's not a responsive answer.
Well, what can I tell you? They're still straggling in.
You have a preliminary count.
20 chariots have returned. Maybe 30. 1,000 men.
It is worse than I thought. I no longer have an army, Ramat.
The testimony is not yet complete, Pharaoh. I have an eyewitness account by a survivor.
I want to hear that from my generals.
Generals are seldom close enough to see for themselves. Bring the next witness. You are a captain of charioteers?
Yes, sir. I was in command of a platoon of 12 chariots, with the usual complement of cavalry and infantry.
Now, I want you to describe the battle as you saw it.
There was no battle, sir.
I'll put the question another way. Just tell us in your own words about the fighting.
Yes, sir, but there was no fighting.
What do you mean, no battle, no fighting?
If you please, it will come out in the question.
Did my soldiers fall over their own feet and break their necks? Huh? Speak up, speak up!
We will learn nothing by frightening him.
Captain, tell us how it happened.
We were... my division was the last in line. When we came up, it was dark.
The man talks nonsense. It was midday.
A screen of thick, oily smoke hid them from us and covered the sky over us. Through the smoke, on the other side, you could see a great light, like a pillar of fire. But where we were, it was dark. Darker than the midnight of Osiris. Dark as the tomb.
Relax, Captain. It's over now.
Even the horses were afraid. Neither the whip nor the goad could make them move. Then the smoke thinned and blew away. And there in the distance we saw them. We saw the Hebrews at the edge of the sea.
What then? Go on, go on.
The horses flew. All the power of Egypt flew down upon the Hebrews. The power of Egypt!
Captain.
Your pardon, sir.
You had them trapped. What happened then, Captain?
Riding like the wind, closer every instant, but still far away, we felt a wind come out of the east. And we saw how the wind raised waves high in the sea, higher, higher, until the waves mounted into two high walls, and the waters parted. And the Hebrews walked on dry land across the Red Sea. And the power of Egypt, all the power of Egypt.
Finish what you have to tell.
We rode into the bottom of the sea, between two black walls of water, and the walls fell together with a rage of thunder and swallowed Egypt into the dark.
Wake up, Ramat. Wake. Oh, you couldn't sleep either.
I think it will be many nights before I sleep again.
Come with me. I want to talk to Mut, my commander-in-chief.
But he is preparing to testify tomorrow.
I know it, and I know him. He will come with a donkey load of records and excuses. That's not what I want. Come.
It's the middle of the night. Why can't it wait until morning?
Because history does not wait, my historian. But look, Ramat. Look and tell me what you see.
It's only your hand. A man's hand.
No. It is the power of all the pharaohs of Egypt, accumulated over centuries and gathered together into one mighty hand. In one day, the might is destroyed. And I do not know how or why. One day, Ramat. Can I wait another day? I want an explanation, Mut.
What can I say? Pharaoh knows what I know.
What do I know? You commanded my army, the most powerful army in the world, against a rabble of unarmed slaves. And now you are a general without an army.
That is unfairly put. They fled. We pursued, but we never caught them.
Yet you were destroyed.
Not by force of arms.
You're quibbling. Who is responsible? Who? Stop sulking like a child. I want a direct answer to a simple question.
I am a soldier. When Pharaoh commands, I obey. If you order me to accept responsibility...
Idiot! I'm trying to understand what happened.
Who can explain darkness under the sun at midday? Or winds that raise walls of water? But some things are easier to understand.
What things? Say what you mean.
I do not presume to instruct Pharaoh.
What? Your delicacy approaches insolence. Speak your mind.
I have a simple soldier's mind, Pharaoh. I remember how the Hebrews were in the land of Egypt under the eyes and the whips of your overseers, and surrounded everywhere by my soldiers.
Your soldiers, but...
a figure of speech. I also remember how 600,000 Hebrews safely guarded in Egypt were permitted to go out.
Your simple soldier's logic is too slow. I will finish it for you. If I had not let them go, if I had not sent you to bring them back, then all would have been well. And therefore the responsibility is not yours. Is that it, Mut?
I did not say it. Ramat, I call you to witness. The words were not mine.
Leave Ramat out of this. You know what happened before I let the Hebrews go. You know the pressures and the plagues. How would you have decided?
I know how to organize a cavalry charge and when to send the chariots into battle, but I am not Pharaoh. Such decisions are not for me to make.
Evasions and excuses. Yes, I decided. But when I asked the advice of my council, you did not disagree, Mut. And you, Ramat, you were silent.
When something happens for the first time, it is difficult to know what is right.
You, too, are cautious, Ramat.
No, only slow to understand. Now I know what advice I would have given.
Now it is too late.
Maybe not. Maybe the question is still the same. Why should they want to go out of Egypt?
What difference does it make? Stick to the point.
Maybe that is the point. Why should a multitude of people want to leave the land in which they have lived for generations to go out into the wilderness? Why?
Because they were bewitched. Because the man Moses turned their heads with talk and promises. What's the matter with you, Mut? What do you mean?
I mean, with Moses you come closer home.
I'm tired of your cumbersome subtleties.
You have asked many questions of many people and made accusations. Finally, you think of Moses. Then is there not another who should testify?
Speak plainly, I say, who?
Your sister, the Princess Batya.
You helped him, Batya.
Is this why you sent for me in the middle of the night?
You don't deny it?
My dear brother, it should be clear from what happened today that Moses needed no help from me.
You defend him.
No. I state a fact.
You protected him from the day you brought him to the palace.
Of course. Growing up in the royal household is dangerous before the heir is chosen. Or afterwards.
Even after he killed the Egyptian overseer, you hid him until he could run away to Midian.
Oh, excuse me, my sleep was interrupted. Do I have your permission to retire?
You were in touch with him in Midian during all those years. You thought I didn't know that?
Do you think it mattered to me what you knew? He was my son.
No. He was a foundling you saved from the river in defiance of the law, in defiance of the Pharaoh, my father.
He was also my father. And Pharaoh's daughter is not bound by the law.
I am Pharaoh now. Your position is no longer so elevated.
So that's how it is. An unmarried sister is an encumbrance easy to get rid of. Well, then call your guard. Call them and finish it quickly.
I don't want to quarrel with you. I'm troubled about you.
You are frightened.
You don't understand. I lost an army today.
I lost Moses, who was like my son. But it was long ago, and the pain grows less.
I'm not angry with you, Batya. It was his doing.
You were always like this, even when we were children. You're frightened, and you look for someone to blame.
It's true. His words, his deceiving talk, persuaded the Hebrews to go out of Egypt.
Can one man talk to 600,000? And if he can, do they hear and respond? Just the beginning of the response is already on their lips.
You still defend him.
And you still not have learned. Does Moses have need of me when his help comes from a source mightier than Pharaoh's army?
I did not mean to make you angry. Look at me, Batya. Don't you see, I need your help.
It was never easy to help you. Besides, I do not understand either. I keep thinking, if I had not saved Moses from the reeds, if there had been no Moses, no Aaron, would there be someone else to lead the Hebrews out of Egypt?
If it was inevitable, then...
And no one is responsible? But maybe it was inevitable because of what was done. Or left undone.
Done by whom? You mean me, don't you?
Why did you send your army after the Hebrews?
Stupid question. Does a man willingly give up possessions of great value?
You have wasted the labor of thousands to build palaces you've never even seen. You've thrown away other armies in useless wars.
It's different.
Yes. Yes, I think it is different. You are afraid of the Hebrews, as our father was afraid.
You're talking nonsense. Is Pharaoh afraid of a slave?
I have seen how Moses spoke to you. It is how I imagined Joseph long ago. Was it 500 years, 1,000? How he spoke to another ancient Pharaoh.
What? Did Joseph also stammer like your Moses?
They spoke to Pharaoh as men, not as slaves to a master. And therefore you are afraid.
I've kept you long enough, Batya.
Those you fear you also hate. And
you may go now, Batya.
When I have said what you must hear, you set your feet in the path of inevitability and took one step after another. Out of fear you made laws. Out of fear you gave whips to your overseers. Out of fear and hate you refused to let the Hebrews go out of Egypt.
Enough, I say, enough!
It is enough. I have given you little comfort, Pharaoh, my brother.
Have them bring the torches closer, Ramat. I cannot see.
Captain, you heard.
Yes, sir.
What did you hope to see here in the dwelling place of the Hebrews?
They left things behind. See? Dough on the oven, unleavened.
They were hurrying to go out of Egypt. It is possible to say that they had reason to hurry.
All right, Ramat, all right. You don't have to say everything that's possible. Now, what's this? A child's rattle.
If I knew what you were looking for, why you came here...
You always know so much. Don't you know that, too?
Maybe I do. It's a dead place now. But when they were in the midst of preparing to leave...
You were here, Ramat?
It was different then. Somehow filled with beginnings. And things to come.
I can imagine. My name was on every tongue together with a curse.
No, they did not curse your name.
How considerate. Or were they too busy composing songs of jubilation?
Not that either. Moses spoke to the people, and they listened. I listened too.
Well, go on.
I do not know how to tell you. There was much that I did not understand, but he said to them, "Remember this day, and tell your children and your children's children, so that all the generations may remember what happened here."
What happened? Did he tell them?
They knew, Pharaoh. They did not need to be told.
I want to be told. See? I'm like a child, with a child's rattle in my hand. Ramat, what did happen?
I can answer for myself, but not for you.
Why must you always complicate things? I asked a simple question.
Then you know the answer. For you were the beginning and the end. All that happened came from you.
Yes. We can go back now.
I'll have them bring the horses.
Captain. Wait. Look, Ramat. A man's hand, you said. A man could turn it. He could close his hand or open it.
Captain.
Wait, I said. See how steady I hold my hand. I dare not move it. You know why?
There are times when I know only what Pharaoh tells me.
Don't humor me. Listen, Ramat. Yesterday, or was it the day before, if I flicked a finger, 10,000 soldiers marched into battle. If I waved my hand, 100 towns were destroyed or spared, and 10 times 10,000 people lived or died. Now I dare not move a finger.
Because you are afraid it is only a man's hand?
Life and death still rest in it. Do you doubt it?
I will not make the test. Yet, your army is wiped out.
What does that matter? I'll raise another army, a dozen others. But there is no value in them if each can be destroyed in a day. There is no safety until I know what happened yesterday and how and where we made mistakes.
I might suggest...
No. There is still one place in which I have not looked. Captain, bring the horses. We have a long way to go by morning.
We should start back before the sun gets too high.
There's still time, Captain.
Then I will wait back there where we left the horses.
Wait here. Pharaoh may want you.
I do not think so, sir. He only stands at the edge of the sea, staring. I am uneasy here, sir.
Yes, I feel it too.
I showed him the tracks of the wheels where the chariots went into the water.
What did he say?
Nothing. He barely lowered his eye to look. Why did he make me bring him here? What's wrong, sir? What did I say?
Does a captain of charioteers question what Pharaoh does or why?
I only meant...
You do not know what you meant. Just be careful of what you say.
Ramat, it seems to me that I smell the smoke they described.
I thought so too, Pharaoh. It's only imagination.
Is it? Captain, don't you smell it also?
The sea is narrow here, and the Hebrews are camped on the other side.
Where? I don't see them.
They're too far to see. But the wind blows the smoke of their campfires.
The wind from the east.
If Pharaoh is ready now.
I was told an east wind blew when Moses returned from Midian.
It is of no significance.
I suppose not. I only happen to remember.
If you please, I'll bring the horses.
Still, Captain, I'll tell you when I'm ready.
He's right, Pharaoh. It's time to go back. There's more testimony to be heard.
No more, Ramat. The investigation is over.
Is it wise to drop it now? The people will think...
I am not concerned with what the people think. It is finished. I know where the responsibility lies.
Do you?
For a time, I forgot what it means to be Pharaoh. But now I have remembered what my responsibility is.
You really do? There is still hope.
I was weak, and I faltered. Listen, Ramat. Does the sun, when strange winds blow and earthquakes shake the mountains, does the sun in the sky falter?
You are a man ruling over men.
I am Pharaoh. Should Pharaoh debate with any man or bargain with slaves? When Moses stood before me and Aaron spoke for him, for the meek little man with a stammering tongue, I listened. That was the mistake.
What did you hear?
The responsibility is mine. If the whip were not enough, then the sword was the answer. The answer was not in words, but with a mighty hand.
Yet the hand was destroyed.
Because I listened and I let them go.
When you listened, what did you hear?
Do I have to tell you? You were there beside me.
I also failed to hear, because I did not think to ask.
I've had enough of questions, Ramat.
Yet there is one that must be answered. Or what happened here in one day will happen again and again.
No, never again.
Long ago, Joseph came to Egypt and all his brothers and their father Jacob, and they lived here.
Because there was famine in their own country.
Famine does not last for generations. Yet they were content to live among us. Then why were they no longer content? Why did they go out of Egypt?
The same question again.
You still do not ask it?
I do not ask a horse if he likes being a horse.
But even Pharaoh is forced to ask if a man likes being a slave.
Be careful, Ramat. There are limits, even for you. You speak out of remorse or guilt, I don't know which. But you're absolved, Ramat. I have acknowledged responsibility.
Only for being Pharaoh. But for what happened, not only yesterday, I share your responsibility. And what also? And your generals and overseers and all those who ran with swords down to the Red Sea.
Listen.
All of us, Pharaoh.
Listen, do you hear it?
Oh, Well, what is it, Captain?
It was... I thought I heard singing. The singing of many voices.
I hear nothing.
Sing ye to the Lord, for he is highly exalted. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. They sang, and then suddenly, in the middle of a word, it ended. Why did they stop?
You heard nothing. It was in your mind. I'm ready to go now, Captain. Bring the horses.
The horse and his rider hath he thrown...
My hand will help you to remember, Captain. You heard nothing. Do you understand?
I understand, Pharaoh.
You see, Ramat, my hand is again the mighty hand of Pharaoh. I'm sure you also understand.
Only as in a dim light. But it is a beginning.
I'm tired of your long face and your sad voice. If you have something to say, say it.
I have been close to Pharaoh, so that I too have lived by Pharaoh's mighty hand. Now in my mind's thoughts are strange, no longer terrifying. The words have a strange sound in my mouth. They say themselves, as if I were hearing them, as you hear them.
I hear nothing. What words?
Justice. Mercy. I think I will come to understand them. But for now, it may be enough to know another thing. Listen, Pharaoh. Whoever lives by the might of his hand must find one day, soon or late, that there is a mightier hand than his.
It is told that the children of Israel, delivered from bondage by an outstretched arm and a mighty hand, passed over the Red Sea and camped on the other side. And Miriam, the sister of Moses and Aaron, took a timbrel in her hand, and the people went after her with timbrels and with dancing.
Sing ye to the Lord, for he is highly exalted. The horse and his rider hath he cast into the sea.
And it is told how the angels, seeing the walls of water fall upon the pursuing Egyptians, also wished to sing for joy. But the Lord reproved them, saying, The works of my hands are perishing. How can ye wish to sing?
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover the cost of postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary of America, 3080 Broadway, New York 27, New York. Our Eternal Light drama today, The Horse and His Rider, was written by Joseph Mindell. Cadet David Putterman sang the liturgical introduction. Featured in the cast were Bernard Lenrow, Louis Van Ruten, Alan Bergman, Roger DeKoven, Mitzi Gould, and Maurice Tarplin. This is Lionel Rico speaking. Our program was directed by Parker Gibbs. This weekly program is presented under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. This is the NBC Radio Network.
And the Lord Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation. And it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Our program today, The Garments of Truth, is written by Judah Stampfer.
To hunt for treasure, you have to cultivate the unexpected. Whether it's flying over a wilderness with a Geiger counter in your lap, listening for the click of radioactive oars, or pounding a steel bit through mile after mile of rock probing for oil, or removing an entire mountain, basket by basket, and sifting it through a sieve, to find some useless pieces of broken pottery perhaps, or once in a blue moon, a window to a departed civilization.
Professor Hopkins! Professor Hopkins!
Fuad, catch your breath, man. You must have run all the way from the digging.
Professor Hopkins, sir, you told me to let you know as soon as we found anything.
Yes?
It's a wall, sir, on the other side of the western gate.
A wall, you say?
Yes, sir.
Oh, come at once and have a look. Professor Ostovstev. Yes? Fuad says we've struck a wall, and by the western gate, where you predicted.
Excellent, excellent news. Let's go have a look at it. These caravan cities, it's exciting digging them. Not like excavating a Canaanite village. You have every culture, every religion cheek to jowl with one another. Never know what will turn up. By the western gate, you say?
Yes, if Fuad is right now. That would place it, within the area the Roman commander filled in, against the Persian attack before the city fell.
Yes.
To make that one enormous defensive wall, yeah? Ostosted, why, that area is a time capsule, like those left nowadays in the foundations of buildings. The swing of a few pickaxes, a bit of digging, and, well, if we're lucky, we'll pull the lid off and see what was locked inside over 17 centuries ago. Over 17 centuries ago. Over 17 centuries ago.
The year is 245 A.D. The place, Dura Europus. The site will mean nothing in a millennium, but here in the 3rd century we are in a crowded, armed, and restive Roman fortress, the frontier of an empire, the gateway to the Mesopotamian valley. Endless caravans thread through the crowded markets, carrying the wealth of the East to Rome. Tired Roman legions bivouac on their way to battle. Beggars swarm out of the gates like flies to descend upon the stranger and the unwary. A strange new religion, Christianity, has just taken root here. Its church is decorated with frescoes older than the oldest catacomb paintings. And here, in a stall by a narrow, winding valley, an old scribe carefully dips his quill in ink and copies out a Torah scroll, letter by letter.
Grandfather? Grandfather, I want to ask you something.
In a moment, David. Let us see if you can learn patience in the time it takes me to finish this verse. L. Moshe. Lamor. There. Now, what is it, David?
Grandfather, why do you put so many crowns on top of the letters when you write a Torah scroll? It takes so much more time that way.
David, I'll answer you with a story. They say that God himself is a scribe writing Torah scrolls in heaven.
Is that really true, Grandfather?
Stories are not true or false, David, like weights in a scale. They're rather the garment truth wears to make itself visible. And who knows, perhaps God does busy himself writing Torah scrolls. After all, it's as dignified as creating worlds, and more sensible than chasing rabbits, as you do when you go out to the country.
Does God then put crowns on the Torah letters he writes in heaven?
No, God first wrote his Torah letters bare, for crowns were not needed. But when Rabbi Akiva became the wonder among teachers, God said to himself, "Now this Rabbi Akiva needs more occupation." And so he added crowns to all the letters of the Torah, so that Rabbi Akiva could interpret not only the letters of the law, but the very crowns above them.
Such a wise old scribe, patient and learned, trained in the academy of the patriarch Judah the Prince, would be teacher to young and old alike. To him would also come the elders of the community when a fine point of law was at issue, as it was this very day about the plans for a new synagogue.
Reb Sholem, belike your name a source of peace, or we will never finish the new synagogue. I insist that we decorate the walls with paintings that the eye should see and the lips should speak one hymn of praise to God, as it was written, "My heart and flesh shall praise the living God." But Reb Shmuel here...
Why, it's a violation of the Ten Commandments themselves. You'd think we were worshippers of idols the way we cover our synagogue walls with images.
You see how we stand, Reb Sholem. And tomorrow we must come to a decision, or the artists will move on to Nicetes, which the armies have just recaptured. Do I wish to quarrel with Reb Shmuel here? But this is a matter of principle. But tell us how we can resolve this.
Reb Shmuel?
Yes, Reb Shmuel.
Reb Shmuel, Rabban Gamliel was a great teacher?
What are you asking? He was a master of the oral tradition, a prince in Israel.
And would you consider him a pious man?
A pious man. His very footsteps were like decisions in law.
When I studied in the court of his grandson, Rabbi Judah the Prince, I heard a story about him. In the baths at Akko, which Rabban Gamliel attended, for he was a fastidious man, there was placed a statue of the pagan goddess Aphrodite. When his students asked him how he could continue bathing there, in the face of the law against images, he said, with a twinkle in his eye, "Your complaint is against the goddess, not against me. After all, she entered into my domain, not I into hers."
But, Reb Sholem, what of the law against graven images?
Reb Shmuel, the law against graven images says, "Thou shalt not bow down to them or serve them." Now I ask you, for shame, is it to this use that our paintings in our synagogue will be put?
Reb Sholem, you have decided it like a man of peace. He who enters our synagogue to pray will enter the very courts of heaven. Come, Reb Shmuel, come. You and I will sign the contract together.
And so the synagogue at Dura Europos was built, not bare and cold, but covered from wall to wall and from floor to ceiling with paintings on top of paintings, radiant with color. When the interior was finished, at their first service...
Grandfather! Has the whole Bible come to life again? David and Moses, and Elijah and Jacob and Ezekiel.
Mm-hmm.
It is as if the very walls are praying. I'm almost afraid to remain here with them looking down on me from every side.
The fear of people, David, unlike the fear of God, is a sign of ignorance. If you are afraid of them, make them your companions and friends. Don't turn away from the sources of your strength.
Grandfather, I want to ask you something.
Hush. Our first service is about to begin.
During the building of the Jura Europa synagogue, Persians and Romans fought almost on their very doorsteps. And as the flashing figures on the synagogue walls brought the service to life, caravans brought congregations of scholars and merchants from the crumbling community in Palestine to new centers in the Mesopotamian Valley. There, schools were opening in every village, and tens of thousands of farmers gathered twice a year for instruction in the great new academies of Babylonia. Going to school then was not like walking to the corner for a bus that would return that same afternoon. It meant tearing boys from their homes to cross frontiers, deserts, and armed camps. And who knew when their families would see them again?
I have taught you all I can here in Jura Europos, David. You must go and study at one of the great academies.
No, Grandfather, I don't want to leave you yet. Let me study with you for one more year, for another winter.
Abandon one day, and 2 days will abandon you. No, the wars are too serious to permit delay. You must go while the roads are still relatively open. There's a merchant on a caravan passing through, with whom I studied when I was your age, and whom I would trust with my life. You'll travel with him.
Is this the caravan to Galilee, and the academy where you studied?
No, this is eastward to Surah, where great new schools are opening, the equal of any in Palestine. Our people are freer there. Be our emissary, David. We may someday have to come to you for safety.
Grandfather, you're dreaming again.
Strange how there suddenly flashed before me the picture from our synagogue walls of Ezekiel bringing the dry bones to life. When will our dry bones come back to life? My father sent me to Jura Europos. I'm sending you to Babylonia. Will your sons grow by your side? Or will you have to send them even farther, to lands of which barbarism itself has not yet heard? Send messages with whoever you can, David. Our hearts will inhabit the roads between here and Surah, awaiting news from you. Don't forget us here in Jura Europa.
Outside, orders of the general.
But we're in the midst of a festival service. Let us finish our prayer.
There must be no delay. This entire row of buildings is to be evacuated. See to it, soldier.
Don't be frightened. Don't be frightened, anyone. Let us leave quietly. We may be back before the festival is over.
You'll never be back here, Rabbi. These Persians are such devilish soldiers, the very walls of this city aren't thick enough to hold out their battering rams. So our commander is filling in the street behind the wall, and filling in this row of buildings behind the street, to make a wall they'll never batter down.
What are you saying?
Our synagogue, only 10 years after it's built. Our beautiful synagogue to be filled in and buried like a cistern or an infected house.
Those are our orders. I don't like them, but I'd like it less to have my throat cut. All right, outside before the engineers get here.
Don't be frightened, my people. Prayer needs no house. If we must go in the streets, in the fields, in the wilderness, let us live with dignity.
Grandfather!
David, you come back.
I've come to take you to Sura with me. I have a safe conduct through the Persian lines.
David, can I begin again to sing God's songs in a strange land?
Oh, Grandfather, you haven't seen this Persian army. Dura Europos is doomed. Drunken soldiers will have no pity on your white head.
It is enough if I die that I've lived this long. It will be, and I will be of no use in a strange place.
Grandfather, do you remember wondering when I left for Sura if my sons would be forced to wander from me, too?
How well I remember, David.
And do you remember the painting of Jacob, blessing the sons of Joseph on our synagogue walls?
I shall never forget it. It stands right over the niche where the Torah scrolls are kept.
Grandfather, Jacob came to Egypt as an old man and blessed the sons of Joseph. I, too, now have sons. They inhabit my home. They live in my village. I have raised them proud and free as you raised me. Come and give my sons your blessing.
Blessed is the teacher who learns from his students. Which way must we go?
This way. This way, Grandfather.
If undermined the southern wall, there's no holding the city now!
Professor Hopkins. Professor Rostovtsev. We've begun to clean the wall we discovered. It's a wall of fresco paintings. There's not a bare inch on it.
Fresco paintings? Well, then it's probably a place of worship of some kind.
Any guesses, Hopkins?
Well, it could be anything. That is anything but a synagogue. Their walls never carry images.
Let's have a closer look.
I can't understand it. The Exodus from Egypt, you see? Yes, and alongside it, there's Moses in the burning bush. Why, there's no iconography in all the literature that even remotely resembles it.
If there are frescoes on the top level, there are probably frescoes all the way down. Let's see what the next level turns up.
This is more incredible all the time. Yes. There's Moses giving the law, yes. And Aaron and his sons being consecrated. Uh-huh. And there, Jacob blessing his sons. And the ark being sent back by the Philistines.
This looks more and more like a synagogue all the time.
There's no precedent for it, no precedent whatsoever. Why, these figures are like those in the Roman catacomb paintings, and from the middle of the 3rd century. Now, this would upset every known theory about the transmission of art from the Romans to the Byzantine in medieval Europe.
By the depth we've dug to, I would guess we have one more tier of paintings to go. Well, let's reserve judgment until we see what the last tier holds.
No more room for doubt. There's Moses being found by Pharaoh's daughter, you see? Mm-hmm. And here, David being anointed as king. And now, yes, here, you see, the niche where the Torah scrolls were kept. We're standing in the synagogue, Rostovtsev. A 3rd century synagogue whose walls are solid with fresco paintings. Why, the nearest thing to it are some mosaic tiled floors from some 5th century synagogue in Palestine. But they're all different in every possible way. There's not another synagogue even remotely like it in all the world.
Hopkins, could this be all that's left of a whole world of Jewish art, obliterated by exile and persecution? If there was one such synagogue, there could have been hundreds. Brute numbers mean nothing in such matters.
Yes. And could this be the mysterious bridge we've always sought, from classic art to early Byzantine and catacomb paintings?
Yes.
It has the realism of Roman painting, and the religious subjects, the symbolic objects, and the stylized frontal postures of the catacomb figures.
We'll have to get photographic plates of these walls immediately and send a report to the American Oriental Society. Mm-hmm. The entire synagogue will have to be removed and set up where the paintings can be properly cared for.
Say, Elliot, look at this book of paintings from the Dura Europa Synagogue.
Paintings from a synagogue?
Yeah.
No, Harry. Afraid you're mistaken. I've studied this business a little. You never get paintings from a synagogue. A few mosaics, maybe, but paintings. Not on your life.
Look, I'm not crazy. See for yourself.
Well, I take it all back. This sure is a new one on me.
It's strange, though. You know, these pictures don't look Jewish. What do you make of them?
You know, you're wrong, Harry. Doesn't matter whether they look Jewish or not. Not really. Here, this is much more significant. What the artist is saying. Aaron and his sons being consecrated as priests in the tabernacle. Look at that. I tell you, Harry, whoever painted these certainly had flesh and blood. Why, the insecurity of the times must have been just, enormous for him to say no like this in painting after painting. Look at that body, dragged by the hair out of the valley of dry bones,
yes,
staring you in the eye with a face still half corpse, as if to say, I know what death is, but it's life I'm gravitating towards. It's not walking or flying, it's gravitating, the way you and I breathe. And here, the Ark, returning to its home from Philistine captivity. This one, the Jews coming out of Egypt from slavery to freedom. And here, Moses pulled alive out of the river where all his brothers had drowned.
Yes.
This one must be Elijah bringing the widow's son to life after he had died. And look at this. Heads and arms and legs coming together and forming live bodies. It's like an atomic explosion in reverse.
Well, so what are you getting at, Elliot? You're telling me that in this picture, the hand of God dragged up a dead body by the hair and didn't just make it live. He made it believe in life while it was still a corpse, which is infinitely harder. All you've done is to take the image off the paper and put it into words. Now cut the image. What are you driving at?
Harry, do you remember that argument we once had about whether an artist just paints a painting or whether he's one of the characters in his painting or whether he's every character he paints?
Oh, sure. I remember that. Oh, I think we agreed then. When a man just paints, he's a hack. He might as well sit down and turn out happy birthday cards, so many an hour. And then if he's only one of the characters in his painting, it's adolescent art. He's just shadowboxing with straw men because he hasn't the guts to slug it out with the people he's really after.
Right. But if he's every person in his painting and a craftsman, too, well, then he can be more magnificent than life. Because in life, he can only be himself, and he's stuck with it. But in art, he can be every person he ever had a chance of becoming. Murderer, Don Juan, saint, suicide, what you will.
Well, all right, but what does that have to do with these Dura Europa's paintings?
This is art, Harry, which means that this painter is the corpse, and he's the hand of God also. Remember now, this was painted in the 3rd century on the threshold of exile, when these communities had the life beaten out of them, and then they floated through the air drawn by nothing but the hand of God inside them, which isn't a bad image for the Shekinah. The indwelling divine presence, come to think of it.
Oh, well, you're an incorrigible romantic. You know as well as I do that the exile was no valley of dry bones. We were farmers, merchant princes, craftsmen, physicians. And where did it lead up to? hate-ridden Polish villages and Nazi gas chambers, and the forced assimilation of the Soviet Union.
And you and me discussing it freely here in America?
No.
Because in life, there's never an end. There's just what happens. But in art, you grab hold of the ultimates implicit in what's happening. And the ultimates this fellow grabbed hold of were corpses and the hand of God. Not bad for 3rd century Syria. Because when the farms get confiscated, the merchant princes arrested at every border, the tools of the craftsmen broken, and they themselves led like corpses into the mouth of death itself, the hand of God would still lead them singing, Ani Mamin, the song of the Messiah. Because the life which they had in their hands wasn't a commodity to them. It was a resurrection, an article of faith.
Whoa, take it easy. You're an unmitigated romantic, Elliot, but you're all right. You know, interpretation aside, these paintings aren't half bad. I'd like to have known some of the people that prayed in that synagogue.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it a minute, Elliot, and you can almost hear the likes of that fellow there talking to us.
Stories are not true or false, like weights in a scale. They are the garment truth wears to make itself visible. Don't be frightened, my people. Prayer needs no house. If we must go in the streets, in the fields, in the wilderness, let us leave with dignity. Blessed is the teacher who learns from his students.
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover the cost of postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary of America, 3080 Broadway, New York, 27, New York. Our Eternal Light drama today, The Garments of Truth, was written by Judith Stanford. Cantor David Putterman sang the liturgical music. Featured in the cast were Edgar Staley, Nelson Olmsted, Guy Rep, James Stevens, Peter Laser, Billy Redfield, and Larry Robinson. Your narrator was Norman Rose. This is Lionel Rico speaking. Our program is directed by Parker Gibbs. This weekly program is presented under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. This is the NBC Radio Network.